Let's have a chat with Chairman, CEO of Victory Capital, David Brown, and then bring back on the show Evan Garr, winner of the Victory Capital Half Court Heroes Challenge, as he pocketed $10,000.
You are Locked On Spurs, your daily San Antonio Spurs podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome back to Locked On Spurs. We're in the Locked On NBA Network. I'm your host, Jeff Garcia, Spurs writer for Ken's 5 San Antonio. Glad to have y'all back. And as always, we thank y'all for making Locked On Spurs your first listen each and every day. Free and available wherever you get podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, Ken's 5 Plus app, YouTube. You know what to do. What is that? That is go and subscribe ASAP and become an everydayer right here on Locked On Spurs. And by the way, thank you for making the Locked On Sports Podcast Network the number one sports podcast network throughout the nation. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. You want to go check out the FanDuel app right before tip-off and see what's dropping during NBA Happy Hour every Friday, 6 to 7:30 p.m. Eastern. So what are we talking about today? Well, we're having a special guest in just a few minutes. Victory Capital CEO, Chairman, David Brown. I'm excited to have him on board. He's going to come on and talk about how the partnership, the naming rights, how it all happened with the San Antonio Spurs. He may be from outside of San Antonio, from Philadelphia, but he shares his passion for the team. He shares his passion for the silver and black. And he just goes into detail about why this partnership between Victory Capital and the Spurs made sense in him. He also shares stories about Chris Paul, and his impressions of the Victory Capital Performance Center where the Spurs go and practice. He shares a lot. We have a little fun with him as well. Apparently, he can make a lot of shots in there. We'll see if that's true or not in just a few seconds. It's a very informative chat with Mr. Brown. I think you're all going to love it. And then later in the show, we bring back on Locked On Spurs, Evan Garr, the winner, the Victory Capital Half Court Heroes Challenge this past holiday season. Y'all recall, he had to make a layup, a three-pointer, and a half-court shot in 45 seconds. And guess what? He did all that, and he got himself $10,000. We'll get to hear from him when he was presented the check, his feelings for about how it all went down, and he gives us more information on the charities that he's going to donate a portion of the winnings to. Also, what's he going to do with that money as well? It's a great conversation. I'm very privileged to have CEO David Brown on, as well as Evan Garr coming back to talk more about just winning that event. By the way, that's tough to do. Here's a little trivia. Did you know there's been only 4 winners of the Victory Capital Half Court Heroes Challenge, and all 4 winners have happened during the holiday season. So it's that holiday magic working for Victory Capital and those that participate in the event. All right, enough of me talking. Coming up next, we have David Brown, Chairman, CEO of Victory Capital, as well as Evan Garr, the winner of the Victory Capital Half Court Heroes Challenge, in just a few minutes. And as promised, everybody, I told you I had a special guest, and look who it is. It's David C. Brown, Chairman, CEO of Victory Capital. Somebody told me that he still holds the record for the most three-pointers made in that practice facility. We're going to find out in a while if that's true or not. David, thank you for your time. Welcome to Locked On Spurs.
Thanks, Jeff. Good to be here. I appreciate it.
Yeah, come to find out, we were kind of quasi-Northeast neighbors for a while, weren't we? Right? You were a Philly guy. I was a New York City guy.
A little bit. I can't say New York and Philadelphia are friendlies, but we were good. Yes.
Well, if I saw you in the street, the David, I would have helped you out. I would have said, hey, there's directions that way. I would have represented New York City a lot better than the stereotype that it has. But yeah, speaking of which, you're a Philly guy, man. But you love sports. Obviously, I'm assuming you still love your Philadelphia teams. But Spurs are now your adopted fan. That's your fandom now. Talk to us about that switch, man. How do you go from the Philly sports scene to the San Antonio sports scene?
Well, I still have a place for Philadelphia, but I am a Spurs fan now. I am a San Antonian. I've been here since June of 2020. And pretty much when we started here, I started going to the Spurs games, and I go to every single game now. And that really started kind of my personal relationship with the Spurs. And then it kind of migrated into the larger business relationship. But I love the Spurs organization. I've always loved them from afar. They're the class of the NBA. They're the class of the kind of the whole sports world, and always have been intrigued to like what was their secret sauce.
Yeah. Yeah. And that secret sauce, I'm assuming you could find that secret recipe too with Victory Capital, can't we?
Yeah, and that really was an interesting thing for us when we started talking to the Spurs about partnering with them and potentially putting our name on their performance facility, and potentially doing some advertising and really starting to get in the community with them. What we saw was a lot of the things that we value, they valued. And when you think about our business and you think about the Spurs and you think about our commitment to excellence, kind of the long-term thinking, on top of that, sports and investment management, the business we're in, they rhyme. They say, when the Spurs are done, you look at the box score and everything is published every single day, the record,
Mhm.
everything. Same thing with us. Our investment performance is published every day. We're a human capital business. Obviously, sports is a human capital business. So
Mhm.
a lot of similarities. And what I was really, really impressed with is I've seen a lot of sports organizations. I've seen a lot of businesses, and a lot of times there will be this is who we are, and then when you start to really drill down, it's not who they are. And with
Mhm.
the Spurs, what you see on the outside is exactly what you have on the inside, and that was something that was really impressive, and something I think is very similar to our business.
Yeah, and you're part of the Spurs family now. Obviously, everybody should know by now. If you don't, well, let me break the news to you guys. Victor Capital is the naming sponsor of the practice facility the Spurs have out there on the northeast side of San Antonio. Um, when I'm pretty sure once you made the move to San Antonio, I think it was around 2019. The Spurs, I'm assuming they have been on your radar even when you were in Philly, weren't you?
Yeah, I mean they were a winning organization. I can't say that. Other than that, we were envious of them. But yeah, they were on our radar.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And talk to us about what went on as much as you can behind the scenes. How did it all start? Obviously, you had an attraction to the Spurs and, bringing Victory Capital to their family. How did it begin? What was the genesis? Talk to us about that.
Yeah, so when we relocated our headquarters here in the end of 2019, and I personally relocated here in June of 2020.
Mhm.
Really, what we wanted to do as an organization was really get more in the community, and really be more involved in having an impact. And so, being a basketball fan, I started going, personally to the Spurs game and meeting some of the executives there. And then an idea was kind of put in front of me to say, have you ever thought about doing something and partnering with our organization? And that was coming from the Spurs. And so we did our research. We talked to people, and it just by chance was great timing because they were just looking for an organization to really support the Performance Center. And then when we learned about the Performance Center and we got to see what it was all about, and I encourage everyone to go and
Yes.
go to the outside, and they have tours, and they also have a store there, and to really understand what it's all about and to see what they're doing inside that facility,
Mhm.
how state of the art it is, really was a big attraction for us. So we sat down with their leadership and our leadership, and we're not only our name isn't only just on the Performance Center.
Mhm.
We do some advertising inside for games. We do advertising when they broadcast, where you do community events together. We do a lot of things that aren't transparent to everybody, but transparent to certain parts of the community. And that's when we looked at that and we saw that opportunity, and then we saw our employees and we talked to our employees about it, and there was such positive feedback about the potential. We knew it was the right partnership for us. And we've been partners for years now, and I can say it's been better than we anticipated.
Mhm.
The impact on our business has been great, but I think what we've been able to do in the community, what our employees talk about, and kind of what we're able to accomplish is really it's really been better than we anticipated.
Fridays already feel different during basketball season, and FanDuel is making them even better. Every Friday night before the game tips off, FanDuel gives fans a new way to kick off the weekend with NBA Happy Hour. NBA Happy Hour is your official pregame limited time window where special offers drop right inside the FanDuel app before the action starts. Fridays from 6 to 7:30 p.m. Eastern have become appointment viewing with NBA Happy Hour. Opening the FanDuel app during Happy Hour always brings up the new boosts, bonuses, and surprises. The timing is perfect, right before games, right before the weekend starts. It adds extra energy to Friday with basketball without even overthinking it. So before tip-off, check out the FanDuel app and see what's dropping during NBA Happy Hour every Friday from 6 to 7:30 p.m. Eastern. A little basketball, a little action, a whole lot of Friday energy. That's NBA Happy Hour only at FanDuel, the official sports book partner of the NBA. Thank you for making Locked On Spurs your first listen of the day, and thank you for making Locked On the #1 sports podcast network. If you haven't already, go check out our new Everydayer Club. Access to ad-free audio feed for Locked On Spurs, compatible with Apple's Podcasts, Spotify, and every other major podcast app. An invite to the members-only Locked On Everydayer Club Discord server, which includes a group chat for just listeners of this show and, well, hanging out with a lot of other fans on Discord. You want to go to this website right now, lockedonpodcast.com/everydayerclub. Go there right now or just tap the link in the show notes to learn more. We are talking with David C. Brown, Chairman, CEO of Victory Capital, right here on Locked On Spurs. Again, Victory Capital Performance Center. Yep, that business there. They are the naming sponsor for your San Antonio Spurs practice facility. Yeah, speaking of state-of-the-art, I recall a couple of years ago, I was talking to one of the players about shooting and, how he gets improved his shot. And he talked about Victory Capital, and he's like, well, we have this stuff. And then he kind of paused. He's like, wait a minute, can I talk about this proprietary stuff? I mean, that's how state-of-the-art it is. I mean, what went into Victory Capital Performance Center? I remember just like yesterday, David, when they were building it, and you remember that story when they brought in those huge oak beams?
Yeah.
They have to import it. That was a huge thing for the San Antonio, seeing this thing slowly come to fruition. And here we are now, fast forward all these years. And it is, you got to say, it's the envy of the NBA. I'm not kidding. There was even articles about the Victory Capital Performance Center being one of the best, if not the best spot for players to train and practice. David, but I think we need to let the residents of San Antonio, Spurs fans that live in San Antonio, that the Victory Capital Performance Center, yes, it is the team's practice facility, but it's beyond that. And you hinted at that. It's for all residents of Bexar County, isn't it?
It is. And let me tell you a great story about that facility. So Chris Paul, who's, been in the NBA for 2+ decades,
Sure.
And he's been on a lot of teams. I was having a conversation with him, and he said, when he was on the team last year, he said that it absolutely has been the best facility he's ever been in his entire career and the best thing he's ever seen. So when I heard that, and especially coming from him, it really, really was heartwarming for me, because it's exactly what the Spurs wanted to create. But when you think about the community and where it is, first of all, it's in a great part of the city. It's fast growing. It's in the La Cantera area. There's an area outside of the performance center that you can just park and have lunch. There's places to eat. There's grass there. They do lots of events there. There's a Spurs store there. And they are planning to kind of expand that area as well, to put some other things there. So it's not really just for the players to go in and enjoy. And there is a Spurs club, which is a member kind of club that you have to pay for. But if you want to go have lunch, bring your kid,
Sure.
That's the place. And then, it's in a great part of the city that's growing. There's a lot of other things to do. So it's really something that if you haven't experienced, you should.
Yeah, I've experienced many times, even when I'm not there for practices or major team-related events. Maybe when Steph Castle got his Rookie of the Year award, guess what? It was at the Victory Capital Performance Center. When the baton was passed from Popovich to Mitch Johnson, it was at the Victory Capital Performance Center. I mean, that's how awesome that place is. But even when I didn't have my media hat on, I've gone there to enjoy the flea markets. I've gone there to enjoy, and this one I think is a hidden treasure, in my opinion, about that facility / area. The amount of great hiking trails.
Yeah.
I mean, that is awesome. And what I like about it is like they have these posts. Everybody, if you haven't got out there, it will tell you exactly the mileage and, whether it's difficult or not.
There's the walking trails, and there's biking trails there. And then they have, I think the other cool thing there is they have those basketball nets that are different.
Oh, man, that one's awesome.
Yeah. kids love that. And I think there's like a 20-foot high one as well. And so it's just a great thing for the community. And again, I go back to that's exactly what we wanted to do in the impact there. They also have concerts there every once in a while. There's a car show that they do once every couple months. They also have a neat restaurant there. And you could just walk around there on a nice day and enjoy yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. And David, I look at the Victory Capital Performance Center, obviously state of the art. You got a ringing endorsement from Chris Paul recently. And of course, the fans love going out there, even for the watch parties in the lawn and that massive TV screen. And everybody, that's actually my TV that I put in my place. And I let the Victory Capital bar. I wish that was true.
Thank you.
I wish that was true. That ain't true, everybody. No. But nevertheless, you guys go. I mean, if there's a way to say above and beyond, be above and beyond, and that is you guys with the Victory Capital Heroes Challenge. I mean, that was fun. Recently, Evan Garr, former military guy here in San Antonio, did what many thought was the impossible. Not only knocked down a layup and a 3-pointer, but also a half-court shot. Yeah, he sank it. He sank it for $10,000. That event is just fun. Fans get into it. The arena exploded when Evan knocked down that shot. Talk to us about that event. How was it born, and what do you like about it?
Yeah, I really like it. And first, it came up, inside our organization on how could we do something in game that was exciting and would engage the crowd. And ultimately, we wanted to center around military or people that served our country or were serving our either police, firemen, medical. And so what we came up with is a basketball theme. And the concept is you start at half court and you have to make a layup, a NBA 3-pointer, and a half court shot all within 45 seconds.
Whew.
Not easy.
Not easy.
So we've had 4 winners, if you can believe it. 4 winners, which I think going in, we thought we weren't even sure if anybody would be able to do it. It's not an easy thing. Because an NBA 3-pointer, not easy, and a half-court shot, and you have to run. And so we've had 4 winners, and every winner, if you go back and look, has been linked to military or a policeman or a fireman, and it's just awesome. And it's exciting, and it also, for the person that wins it, they never forget it. They have a video of it. They're in front of 15 or 20,000 people. By the way, if you look at it closely, all of the NBA players, it's during a timeout. They're all watching and they're moving. The Coyotes out there. And so over the years, we've tried to think about, can we enhance the game? And we look at it and we just love it. And like I said, I go to every game, or at least try to go to every game. And every time we have a half court hero, I'm like praying that we have a win. Now our CFO doesn't like that we have to pay $10,000 every time we win, but they win, but it's great. And so the recent winner, I think, was a couple games ago, and I think he made the half court shot with like 1 or 2 seconds left, which is even more exciting because it's kind of a second shot. And so we love it. And the idea did not come from the Spurs. It actually came from our team. And there's different versions of it in the NBA. And I would say most of the versions of it in the NBA are set up where you can never win. We wanted to do it where it was hard enough, but where people would win in 4 times in 4 years.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah, the Half Court Heroes Challenge, sponsored by Victory Capital. As a matter of fact, David, let's go ahead and watch that moment with the winner, Evan Garr.
Spurs fans, it's time for Victory Capital's Half Court Heroes for a shot at $10,000. I'm here at Half Court, and of course, you got to invest in the home team. Victory Capital is proudly headquartered here in San Antonio, and to learn more about their investment opportunities, visit vcm.com. Now, let's get into the nitty-gritty. I'm standing here with Evan. He is our hero today because he is a part of the Army Airborne Infantry, ladies and gentlemen. First and foremost, we want to say thank you for your service, and this is how the game is going to work. We're going to put 45 seconds on the clock. You're going to run from the half court down to make a layup. Once you make that, you're going to go and try to make a three-pointer. Once you make a three-point shot, you're going to come and join me right here again for a half-court shot. If you could do all three in 45 seconds, you get $10,000. Are you ready? Spurs family, we got to cheer them on. Let's put 45 seconds on the clock. On your mark, get set, go! Remember, first up is that layup. Can he get it? Yes! Next up, the three-pointer. Spurs family, cheer him on! He's getting close, come on! 30 seconds on the clock. He's close, 25 seconds. Evan, 20 seconds on the clock. He's got it! Half-court shot is next for $10,000. He's gonna have to get a running start. 10 seconds! Oh my goodness. He's close! $10,000! Congratulations! Evan! Congratulations! You are our half-court hero! My goodness! That's how you do it, folks!
I mean, David, what a moment. Lord, what a moment. You just see him just jumping up and down, celebrating. And it would not have happened for Evan without you guys giving back to Military City here in San Antonio. Guy, by the way, he's sharing some of those winnings with local charities in San Antonio. Just an example, I think the Roy Moss Youth Alternative is one, military related. So it's just you can almost feel you guys giving back to the community, and then the community giving back to the community itself, David.
It's great. No, we're really proud of it and excited. I did not know that he was sharing that. That's breaking news to me. So that is tremendous. It's great.
Yeah. He's giving a portion back to San Antonio. From the Victory Capital Half Court Heroes Challenge to the naming rights, the practice facility, and then opening it up, the grounds for residents, fans to enjoy it in whatever capacity, from music venues to flea markets to food to shopping to hiking trails, even for your furry friends. It's all there. But when you take off your Victory Capital CEO chairman hat, David, ultimately you are a Spurs fan and you have courtside tickets, don't you?
I do.
Yeah.
And I am a Spurs fan, and I go with my wife, and she's from Philadelphia, and she's an even bigger Spurs fan. And I would say Spurs and Sixers are even for me. For her, it's the Spurs and nobody else.
Right. We definitely love to hear that. Well, what would have been some of your favorite moments sitting on courtside? Hey, let's talk about Quo. New year, new systems. This is the time when a lot of us look to the messier parts of how we run our business and think there has to be a better way. And there is. Streamlining your communications is just one of the quickest upgrades you can make. And that is why today's episode is brought to you by Quo, spelled Quo, the smarter way to run your business communications. Because when your team is reachable, organized, and communicating in one spot, you're not just working cleaner. You're creating more opportunities to connect with customers. Your whole team can call and text from one shared business number, so nothing gets missed. Everyone sees full conversation threads, which makes replies faster and more personal. It works right from your phone or computer, and you can even keep your existing number. And Quo's smart AI tools automatically log calls, summarize conversations, and highlight next steps, so details never slip through the crack. It's no surprise Quo is the #1 rated business phone system on G2, trusted by more than 90,000 businesses, from solo operators to growing teams. Make this a year where no opportunity and no customer slips away. Try Quo for free, plus get 20% off your first 6 months when you go to quo.com/LockedOnNBA. That's QUO.com/LockedOnNBA. Quo, no missed calls, no missed customers.
You know, I've been here for 5 years, and I've never seen a Spurs playoff game. If you can imagine how successful the Spurs are, and I have had the window of they've never had a playoff game. Now this year, obviously, hopefully that is going to change. But you know, I really have enjoyed watching Popovich for the first couple of years I was here, watching a legend coach and watching how he, really coached some of the younger players. And I'm a big fan of Mitch Johnson. But some of the best moments, watching Wemby. I was just at the Minnesota game and watching end between him and Edwards and really just trading baskets in the fourth quarter was unbelievable. Some of the matchups with Wemby and Giannis have been great. But I'm super excited about this year. I think people had thought that it was going to take a couple years for the Spurs really to compete for a championship. I think they're going to compete this year. And I've also been really, I've gone to a lot of games outside of San Antonio. And I am unbelievably impressed with the crowd here. The most polite, loyal, like this is a great place to watch a game. And so I just think outside of the basketball, I just think the environment in the stadium is just unbelievable. The people and how educated the fan is too. You don't see that in a lot of places.
No, you really don't. Me and David were talking earlier. I lived in New York City for decades and going to MSG, and man, those fans are vicious. They're not as polite as Spurs fans in the Frost Bank Center. Going to games in Philadelphia, don't get me wrong, that facility is awesome and it's fun, and the staff for the Sixers are great. But man, those Sixers fans, they are diehard Sixers fans.
Don't wear opposing color.
Do not wear. I remember one time, David, I went to see Spurs Pistons on the road, so they're in the Pistons gym. And I remember walking in the lobby, and I can clearly hear, even till today, a Pistons fan say, "We have a Spurs fan in the house." I'm like, "Uh-oh, got to turn around, have to speed up my walk a little bit there."
Exactly.
Yeah. I usually have fun with fans because ultimately, as you mentioned, you do have court size ticket. You're a fan of the team. I've been asking Spurs fans this, so I'll ask you this, David. As of today, who do you think is the Spurs' biggest rival right now?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Yeah, right.
It is. I mean, obviously there's the Oklahoma City Thunder, and
Sure,
we're talking about that. I actually think the Rockets right now. I think.
Oh, interesting.
I think the Rockets, because it's close. I think there's a lot of fans that come down, but I think the Rockets and also that the Spurs have not been competitive the last couple of years, so it's hard to say that they've kept the rivalry. But I think going forward, I think the Rockets. I think going forward, it's going to be Oklahoma City because I think those are the two best teams, and I think the Spurs are better than Oklahoma City.
There you go.
You just look at the two teams. I mean, forget about losses. I just think the Spurs have just an unbelievable group, and but I think the Rockets.
Yeah. I asked a few Spurs fans recently about that, and overwhelmingly, it was a Thunder. But I think one fan is sprinkled in the Lakers. They couldn't let go of that old Laker rivalry. Because that rivalry goes back, in the George Gervin era. I mean, it goes way, way back. Yeah, it's deeply rooted in San Antonio. But
here, a lot of Laker fans. Like Laker game, and there are a lot of Laker fans. Either they come in, or there are a lot of people walking around the city that just don't wear Laker colors that really are Laker fans.
Yeah. Every time I'm there on my media seat, I look around. I'm like, holy moly! It's a sea of gold jerseys everywhere.
I hate
it everywhere.
I hate it.
Jeez,
who's selling tickets to them?
Yeah, exactly. Like,
seriously, check what they like first.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You got to check the box and you buy tickets. Are you a Laker or a Spurs fan?
No Laker fans or Rocket fans.
Yeah. I remember when the Rockets Spurs rivalry was at its peak in the 90s, mid 90s ish.
Yeah.
And this one they were playing at the Alamo Dome, and there was one time where like a big fight broke out between Rockets and Spurs fans in the upper deck. I mean, it can get intense. It's cooled off a bit, but you could definitely see that rising a bit, considering Ime Udoka. He brings that, that street ball kind of vibe to the team, and the Spurs, with the smooth, silky smooth style, Wemby doing his thing and whatnot. So yeah, I mean, that could be set up to have a revival soon. David, I know you're short on time here again, but circling back to Victory Capital, what would you like to message to be to Spurs fans, the Spurs themselves, about Victory Capital and the marriage with the Spurs, and why Spurs fans should come out to the Performance Center?
Well, first, I mean, we're a newer company here. I mean, our company relocated its headquarters here end of 19. We're local, though. We're a public company. We employ a lot of people. We spend a lot of money in the community. We live in the community. We're a global company. But this is our home. This is our headquarters. And I think everybody that's here is connected. Either they've grown up here, they've moved here, or people like me that have relocated here. We're connected. Our commitment to the city starts with the Spurs. It is putting our name on this practice facility, which I think is visible to many. It's making sure that the community can use it. It's also being inside the arena. And then on top of it, we are San Antonians, and we care about the city. We care about the community. We do lots of things in the community. Our employees do lots of things. It's important to us to influence where we live, where we're raising our kids. The Spurs are part of that, a big part of it. Everybody loves the Spurs. We love the Spurs. But what I like most about the Spurs, a lot of people ask me, like, what's it really like? What's their organization like to deal with? And I say this to everyone. I said this earlier on. What you see on the outside, how they care for their players, how they go about their business, how they have their excellence in everything they do. That's exactly who they are behind the scenes. If it's RC, if it's Peter Holt, if it's Brian Wright, all of these people I have spent time with, and every single person from top to bottom, the Spurs, high class. And I love that. And I feel like that's what's connected our organizations. It's something that we, with our employees, kind of with our clients and our shareholders, same concepts, and they've just put that into basketball. So for us, it's a marriage made in heaven. And we have a long-term agreement with them. I mean, we have years upon years left on the agreement, and and I would imagine we're going to be with them, for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, I mean, you have that Project Marble, underway, getting going. It's going to take baby steps, but eventually it's going to get there. And Victory Capital will have been part of the Spurs pre-Project Marble development. So that's definitely, like you mentioned, a lasting marriage with years upon years later. So can't wait for that move. Hopefully that Victory Capital name out there at the new downtown arena. That's going to be fun for you guys. That's going to be really, really great once that is all said and done. Crossing fingers. He is David C. Brown, Chairman, CEO of Victory Capital. Again, go to the Victory Capital Performance Center area. If you haven't gone, it's a must visit, from hiking trails to shopping to food, concerts, the list goes on and on. And you might actually see David knock down that 20-foot shot repeatedly outside. Right, David? You got it on lock, right?
A little bit, yeah. Hope.
Yeah. I remember, he still holds the record of the most three-pointers made in the Victory Capital Performance Gym. Yeah. There's no video, okay, so don't look for it, but just take our word for it.
Video. We only, it's by word.
Yeah, my word. David, thank you so much for taking time out of your very busy schedule to join us here on Locked On Spurs to talk about Victory Capital, the Victory Capital Performance Center, the Heroes Challenge, and so much more. Again, everybody, go to Victory Capital Performance Center. And thank you, David. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Evan, what does it feel like to be back in San Antonio where it all happened?
Man, it's unreal. It's crazy to be back here. I'm just happy to be back. This place is amazing. What you guys have built is just incredible. So just to kind of see it and feel it, I don't know. I never thought I'd feel something like this.
Has it set in yet? You're the fourth winner?
I don't know. It's still weird. I mean, I don't know. Not really. Just to be back here and then just to kind of feel it. It's starting to set in a little bit, but this is a whole new experience for me.
Obviously, the money is a big thing, but what was your favorite moment from that night? If you could go back in time with us and tell us exactly what happened, what's going through your mind, basically.
Man, that energy was just crazy. It didn't really hit right away. Just kind of watching the Spurs when I first got down on the court, just seeing them up close was unreal. But then actually going through the motion and then hitting that shot and just feeling that whole crowd and the energy, it was something like I've never felt before. And it almost felt like I knew we were going to win that night. Just that energy in that crowd, that was crazy.
Well, what did you think about that? Yeah, by that fan reaction though, and also the players too. I think the players were watching you as well.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. I like I said, didn't really hit it right away. I didn't really feel it set in. I just felt like a lot at once, and so it was just something that's hard to describe.
$10,000, a nice chunk of change, but you're going above and beyond that. You recently announced that you're going to be giving a portion of those winnings to local charities. You want to talk to us about that?
Yeah, I think it's just really important. I'm in San Antonio. That shot could have gone to anyone. Mm-hmm. I'm very fortunate that I got that, and I was lucky enough to hit those shots. And San Antonio's done a lot for me, and I definitely want to give back to the people of San Antonio, people that might not be as fortunate. So I'm just happy to give back where I can on that.
And which four charities are you giving this?
There'll be 5 charities. There's the GI Forum, there's the Through Project, there's 3 more. Yep. There's 3 more. I don't remember exactly which ones.
Youth Alternatives, I think that's one of them.
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah.
But in other words, you are contributing back to San Antonio.
Mm-hmm.
I see your family's here with you. I mean, I'm pretty really proud of you, your mom and dad. What'd you
Thanks,
tell them? What'd you tell them about your initiative to give to charity?
I talked to them. My mom actually works with a lot of charities, so she was a good resource for me to kind of figure out which ones I really wanted to kind of give back to. So they're really happy for that. They've been lifelong donators of different charities themselves, so they're happy I was doing so and making sure I was kind of going the right direction with that.
All right, you think you can do that shot again if you get the frost?
Maybe I get another hour. Give me a little more time and I can get it.
Have you tried hitting it again? Like trying to recreate that half-court shot?
Not on my own.
Yeah.
I just got back from Europe about a day ago.
Okay.
So we try to find some courts. All my friends are trying to do this now. They're like, maybe I could try it.
Evan could do it.
Yeah. So they're all giving it a shot right now.
Yeah, exactly. One other question I have for you before I let you go here. You're the 4th consecutive winner. And we were talking before you came out here. What is it about the holidays? All the shots have fallen on the holidays. Yeah. What do you think about that?
I guess miracles happen. Just a Christmas miracle. I don't know. There was a good energy to it. I think everyone was just a little bit happier. I was just happy to be there, and I think the whole city of San Antonio carried me through that shot.
So what are you gonna do with your money?
Oh man. So I'll donate it. Other than that, I'm not sure yet.
Okay.
Yeah. Kind of figuring that out.
I got one for you. Experiencing the tour and whatnot, and getting your mom and dad involved. I know your mom's been a fan of the Spurs for a long time. You're a fan of the Spurs, you got a fan of the Spurs. What do it mean to kind of see everything and experience this with them? This
is an unreal experience. I've seen pictures of this. I've been a huge Spurs fan for so long. Just to see what they built, just to feel the mission, actually see it. It's incredible. I've never felt a facility like this, a mission like this. I was in the Airborne Infantry. I did sports myself my whole life, but to see this and to see how you guys have put it so well together, it's something like I've never seen before. I think it's going to be really special.
And once again, we thank you for making Locked On Spurs your first listen each and every day. Always appreciate it. Hey, before we go, don't forget to subscribe to Locked On Spurs wherever you get your favorite podcasts: iTunes, Spotify, Ken's 5 Plus app, YouTube, and check out the NBA Everydayer Club. What is that? Basically, you can get Locked On Spurs ad-free. Join a free Discord channel, chat with other Spurs fans, and so much more. You simply want to go to lockedonpodcast.com/everydayer club. Go do that right now and subscribe ASAP. We'll be back tomorrow as the Spurs season continues. Hopefully we talk a lot more wins than losses. Wouldn't that be nice? So for my guest today, CEO, Chairman of Victory Capital, David C. Brown, and the winner of the Victory Capital Heroes Challenge, Evan Garr, we're going to put a lock on this episode of Locked On Spurs.